Greetings and welcome to Wizards of Fun. My name is Eric, and this is the final round from my constructed series at SorceryCon 3. If you've made it this far, I hope you have enjoyed it. This final round is against TG. This was my first time interfacing with this player who is playing the Imposter. Oh boy. Good luck, have fun, Mr. TG. Love his playmat here. Is this the Great Old One full art? I believe so. I've never actually seen the full art. There's a lot more to it than I thought there was. That's awesome.
Yeah, and Carter said he'd give us a time extension, so we should get a full...
All right. Nice. What do we got? Mismanaged Mortuary might be useful since he is Imposter and can flip into Death Speaker. We have Koi Nixie, a cat, and an Atlantean Fate. You don't hate to see either of those. We've got a tower. I can't quite see the front sight. What is that? Is that a Maelstrom? I believe that's my foil Maelstrom, which is maybe why it's harder to see because it's foil. Yeah, that appears to be a Maelstrom.
Good.
So again, I'll have my deck list below. I'm running mostly mono water with a splash of air. There you go, Eric. Very nice. So that's what we need to do in events moving forward. Is show the camera what you're doing, what you're mulliganing, what you're drawing.
Did you get your scry yet?
I will do it now that we've mulliganed, and I'll do it...
Been saying it every round that that's something I am looking to improve. Look at that. Look at that. I can see what the card is. Gnarled Wendigo. So in future events, it'll be a little robotic, but that's exactly what I will be doing. Making sure I lean the card toward the camera. Makes it easier for me to commentate in post as I forget. So it looks like that's a Fertile Earth.
Sounds good. I will draw the spell. I'm going to tap and...
Wondering if I just want to get the Mortuary out first.
I'll do a mismatch.
Sure, so it comes in flooded. We still have our water threshold because of the flood token. Looks like he's going to provide me a nifty one here.
Uh-oh. Nice. Oh, these are great. Visually easy to see. And I'll pay one to make a skeleton.
I was gonna ask if those are card dig tokens, and they are. I think they're magnetic.
Yeah,
they fit in. You can pop them out.
All right.
And I'll do a basic skeleton token. And
I may want to consider getting something like that. Right now, you can see my little clear plastic little tub there next to my blue deck box. I got it at Walmart for 50 cents, so can't argue with that. It holds my dice and my tokens for 50 cents. Can't really beat that. Troll Bridge. And the shiniest sleeves in the in the whole venue. We're gonna have to mentally remember what is on the field here because it's hard to see.
That's all right.
Only happens to me every game.
Yeah, that's reassuring.
All right, what did we get? Meat Hook. Didn't get a lot of action with Meat Hook at this event. I think I had I think I had two in the deck.
Tap to play a Maelstrom in the middle here. Should be interesting with our water.
So I have the option to pull stuff out of his Troll Bridge, which may or may not be good.
Well, actually,
but it is up to me. It's a May ability.
Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I'll keep this one here. I'll just pay to make another one.
Okay.
And I'll pass my turn.
And for whatever reason, I opt to keep one. I'm not actually sure why I did that. Is it that at the start of my turn, I want to Maelstrom them both in, and then, it's probably for Gnarled Wendigo, because I can Maelstrom both of them in. I don't need to tap one of them up right now. In case he had, like, Babbling Brook. You can't see that at all. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. Babbling Brook. I think my thought, though, was like, I still don't know everything that he's running. He's Imposter. What if he has, he flips to Pathfinder? What if he has a desert, right? So rather than risk it, I choose to, I imagine, Maelstrom my stuff forward. Oh.
Spell.
Looks like I may have missed the trigger.
So that would be that amount.
Yep, I missed it.
I think I will do...
I think what I meant to do was pull in both the skeletons and sack both of them.
Things are disabled nearby.
In order to cast a Gnarled Wendigo,
So
just
I
5
think I'm gonna
power.
tap to play
At least that's what I thought. That's what I,
Tower.
watching it now, that's what it looks like I would have wanted to do. I don't know what exactly I'm doing here. A tower for 4.
I think I'm going to pay 4.
Okay. Is that what I'm doing?
It's probably fine. pay 4 and sacrifice a skeleton to lower the cost to cast a gnarled Wendigo here. And then, although it gets disabled, I'll just move this up here. And then I think that's my whole turn.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just keeping back the skeletons in case he has a way to ping it with the desert. It's the only thing I can think of.
Draw a spell.
I don't know. It's even more confusing that it was me.
Activate my Pathfinder's ability.
Yes.
Flip a sight.
Yeah.
Thin ice on the back,
Nice. So it has to be adjacent.
so he can go to either
Use the
site.
sight.
Gotcha, gotcha.
2 locations, I guess, is the right
Yeah.
word. I'll go this
Seems like an okay spot.
All right.
I have 4 mana.
Excuse me.
Wendigo.
We have 2 Koinixies, no Thin Ice in sight for us, but he is playing water, and we have Lugbog Cats. However, he's now on top of a Thin Ice, so probably don't want to cast that right onto the Thin Ice if we can avoid it. We could cast it into his Troll Bridge.
All right. I will play a Dalcian Phalanx right there.
Yeah.
Dalcian Fangs. They can only move forward. I'm pulling up their stats now.
And I'll pass to you.
Well, shut.
It's a 5 power.
Oh,
Takes
5.
care
You
of
got
it.
a
Yeah,
5
we
power
might
guy
just have a
before I
little
did.
high five here.
Yeah. High 5. I love it.
All right, so I believe the order in which this happens is to untap, and then Maelstrom. I'll decide.
So we're gonna pull everything into the middle.
Everything goes in the middle.
Yep.
Then I'll draw. I'm gonna draw sight.
Garden of Eden. Could we not just
Let's fight.
Okay. We do.
trade? Oh, because Meat Hook still fights. It's not a strike. I was gonna say, couldn't I just Meat Hook my Wendigo into his Dalcian? But either way, they're gonna fight. So we just trade here.
Mud.
Yes, I am.
Mud imposter. I don't even know what to expect.
Mud
That's
Imposter.
terrible.
Yep. My first time facing that.
Very, very cool. But I think I'll just put this in the back. I have a Garden of Eden.
Yep.
So we'll just have to, let's be careful with the drawing because I've missed it a lot this weekend.
I conceded. One of my losses was a concede after I made 2 different mistakes with it. I was like, I caught myself both times, which I was, thank God I caught myself, right? And the second one, I was just like, you know what? It's not fair to you. I concede at that point.
Dang, I'm sorry to hear it.
That's all right.
Follows are tricky with that too. I didn't know that's how they work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sounds like everyone fell to the Garden of Eden at this event. It's really hard to keep track of if you're not used to it.
We've got the ice going, or the.
I think everyone's aware of it now. So at any event, just when there's a Garden of Eden on the field, be very, very aware of it.
Love Lugbug.
Lugbug Cat
And with 1 mana left,
in a
the only
spot
thing
where
left
we
to
can
do
hopefully
is
just
bring
repeatedly
in a
attack.
skeleton Here, and I will pass.
And a skeleton.
All right.
And I believe your collection might be flipped over. I know it's probably obvious, but just a heads up. Yeah.
His collection was
I
revealed.
assumed there was
Thank you for saying that.
Archie.
All right.
I was looking at mismanaged and then saw Archie and was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that becomes interesting about what your graveyard is.
That's what I have to be careful of.
Yeah.
My last opponent was also imposter.
So we do have the option to
It's honestly
Atlantean
there for that
Fate
Because my deck doesn't. Well, I shouldn't give away.
if we
Nope, yeah,
decide to
keep
draw
talking.
sight.
I certainly have magics, but they're not a big part of my deck. All right.
Cool.
Does that pull every unit?
All minions in the body of water.
It's only minions though.
Minions,
Okay.
yeah.
I just wanted to see if it pulled me.
Yeah, at the start of your turn, you may pull in each minion in this body of water 1 step.
Okay.
And I determine the steps. So if it needs to go from here to here or here to here, I get to decide.
Yep.
Yep.
I just want to make sure my
Yeah, no, that.
imposter wasn't in danger of getting that
Yeah, yeah.
treatment out of anyone.
And to be clear, it's still 0 power. It just has the abilities of the Pathfinder.
That's exactly correct.
Got it.
There are a couple of ways that you can augment, but if something adds to it, then you can get power, but you don't get the power. Like if you battle mage, you still be 0 power.
Sounds good.
Yep. And if somehow you can kill somebody, you get the draw, but. All right. Now,
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm going to cast. Oh, that could go. Let's see. I'm going to try and go target point spell. Summon it here. I'm going to play Lilith right there.
All right, Lilith.
That's my 5 mana. I will move to end of turn. She'll activate. This is not a draw effect like on Omphalos.
I don't believe so.
I'm just.
It's just a
It
reveal.
isn't. I just want to make
No.
sure that you.
Oh,
we've
well,
talked
I
through that,
misspoke
you're
in my
comfortable.
previous match where I was really,
Alright.
really speaking to the
Ooh.
1 second.
Really? Let's
Not
pull up
bad.
Lilith. It's not a draw.
Shucks. All right, so untapping. Do I want a Maelstrom?
That makes
You're
Lilith
off
even a
the
little
water,
better in my opinion. So
that
at the end of your turn, reveal your opponent's top spell. If it's a minion, summon it here.
Had
It's
I
not a...
played here.
Whoa.
That's true, yeah. Be careful.
So in the previous match in round 7 versus
Nice,
Sean,
that's
I was talking a lot to the Garden of Eden because I think he was specifically drawing sights in order to allow Lilith to continue going.
I love
So
that you're
we
actually
may
thinking
have
about it. I'm always
misunderstood.
like,
This
I draw my
this
card
game's
and I'm
getting
like,
confusing. To be
That's
honest.
why, yeah. I can
Garden of Eden, Umphalos, and Lilith. So Lilith is not prone to the Garden of Eden. I did not realize that. Huh. Okay, so TG was very on it though. He goes, nope, I still get to cast this. So he gets an Abaddon Succubus. It's not affected by, it's not inhibited by my Garden of Eden. That is very interesting. It makes me wonder if my previous match with Sean, if you saw that match by chance, I think a lot of turns he was drawing sights specifically to allow Lilith to continue drawing.
And it says you can push a minion.
So he may have been able to cast more sights than, or more spells than sights,
No.
assuming that him and I both understood how that worked.
Once on your turn, you may push a minion on connected river one step. So this can push, just to be clear, off of itself. But if I had a river, it can only push off. It doesn't pull in.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Just pushing things out.
And just explaining River Rapids here, the fact that it can't pull things in, it can just push things out. If you have connected rivers, then you can push off of either of them, but in this case, it's just a sole
That
river
puts me
site,
at my
so it can push things off of itself.
a water thresh. And I'm going to pay my 5.
Big 5. What do we got?
Hit an Atlantean
Boom.
here.
That feels not bad.
So-
It does.
Blub, blub.
He's mostly water, so it doesn't really matter, but it does
Still
turn off his
water
earth
thresher for you,
threshold.
But the earth is now gone.
Yes. Well, yes,
And-
all of it.
Yeah, so you have 5 water thresh
Mm-hmm.
at the moment. The troll bridge, you can survive that hit, I believe. So I'm going to move an attack here for 4.
Oh, and it's the troll bridge is all. I was saying like I think I could survive the troll bridge, but the troll bridge is turned off, so it doesn't matter.
I'm out of mana, so I will.
Millennium Fate always feels pretty good.
Untap.
Have to admit.
I'll draw a spell. Tap. More water.
A thin ice.
All right.
See, it's very interesting with the playing against the imposter. It seems that most players flip into the Pathfinder as soon as possible, just because it gets you some card advantage. Every turn you get a free sight.
Hand, but it's showing the foil side. Do you mind if I just flip it so I can reread the text really quick? No.
You're absolutely fine.
Okay, just making that clear.
No, yeah, you know you can go. You can. Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
I'm flipping over my meat hook here
Alright,
because I need to double check.
Someone sign it.
That's all right. You go ahead and you pull out your extra Atlantean Fate. All right. I'm going to play a Lugbug Cat. 'Cause
Great.
Those are good cards, I hear.
Nice.
And I'm going to play a Lugbug
Ooh,
Cat.
the double cat.
You have
Oh.
the 6 man?
I do. Don't I?
1, 2, 3, 4. You do. Oh shucks.
And that
Almost
may be
like
the shiniest
facing
card
you,
of
but
the
not
entire
Lugbug
series
Cat,
right
my
there. The
Lugbug
Lugbug Cat on my home site.
That's all my mana, and all my stuff's new, so it must be your turn.
Okay. I don't think I'm gonna Maelstrom here, but let me think about that. Because if everything goes into Maelstrom,
We're gonna have
3 cats.
It's moments like this where it makes you want to have a snowball.
The cat
Necromancer and Maelstrom
4, but I don't
pulling everything in and then throwing a snowball and killing all of it.
That's interesting though. If we did do that, I could do that though and pull that there.
You don't see a lot of snowballing happening in the Gothic meta, but I would still, as a casually competitive player, I would still argue that it can be quite a good card. Maybe 1 or 2 copies.
Put that there.
Certainly if
Pull it there.
Certainly, if the Silver Bullet becomes more of a card that's usable, I'd be curious to see what that would look like. Like, maybe you just need enough minions with charge for it to be good. For those that don't know, there's a Silver Bullet card. It's similar to the toolbox, but the minion has to tap and then sacrifice the Silver Bullet in order to access an exceptional card from the collection. The fact that you just have to tap for the Silver Bullet as opposed to the toolbox, which does the exact same thing but doesn't require tapping and grabs an ordinary rarity card from the collection. The toolbox is the much more prominent card right now. It's not even the much more prominent card. It is the prominent card. Silver Bullet, you don't see it all. So I'll be curious to see in the future sets as more cards come out. Would it take more charge minions? Would it take specific... I don't know, maybe there'll have to be like some other tools or some other things that can kind of pair with the Silver Bullet to make it a better card. I'm not sure. Perhaps
My
Eric's
sleeve's a little
Curiosa
dog-eared.
was
I'm gonna
playing
trade for over
it
here so
safe.
nobody thinks I'm trying to mark cards.
For sure. All right, I'm gonna opt to not use the Maelstrom.
Definitely see his Earthquake in his hand there. I don't know if he realizes it's a full art.
Maelstrom,
Oh,
and I will draw.
I just dropped some cards. I'm gonna need to shuffle my deck because I saw a couple of them.
Should we get a judge just to be cool?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm cool, but judge.
some cards spilled, so we're just getting a judge to make sure we're okay. I don't even think I noticed that Earthquake that's right in front of me.
Can you judge for that event over there too? Okay. So I just dropped some cards and saw a couple of them. Should I shuffle? I picked them up. I saw them.
So
Should I shuffle? What should I do?
All for this
Yep.
is every card that is in question.
Yep.
okay, he's going to get to see and decide whether to go per card on top or bottom.
There you
Can
go.
I randomize them if I want?
So per card,
Yeah.
you're going to choose whether that card goes on top of his deck or
Oh,
on bottom of his
I'll
deck.
try not to shaft you here. Like, yeah.
Okay.
And was this on your sites or your spellbook?
It's their sites.
Oh,
those
okay.
are the sites. I just realized one of my sleeves was dog-eared, so I was switching it out and I hit that.
So the ruling here is that
I mean-
per card, I get to see all of them and then decide if I want to put them on top or bottom. And I kind of just let him know, like, hey, I'm not going to try to, you know, mana screw you here or like purposely try to gain an advantage from this.
Okay, so I'm making piles of top and bottom,
I see.
and we'll kind of shuffle them. Oh, okay, that sounds all right.
That-
Okay.
Yeah, it
Does
does.
he get to also? Does he also get to see which ones I'm putting where?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a full knowledge thing, and then we use
Yeah.
knowledge of where they are other than top or bottom.
So yeah, we're making piles of what are going on top and bottom, and then once we determine those piles, we'll shuffle those
I'm
piles.
not worried about it.
So I see an Aqueduct, I see a Babbling
Pretty
Brook.
decent.
Yeah, it's not a bad site in the deck. I'm
Yeah. It's like.
And I'm having a hard time seeing the other two. But just deciding what I want to do here. I want to be fair, you know, it was an accident. He spilled some cards. I'm not going to like, aha, I got you. Now all your good cards, I put them on the bottom. But just seeing like, okay, Babbling Brook, that's definitely scary. Where would he cast that?
I'm thinking. Bottom and top. Bottom and
So
top.
Aqueduct and Troll Bridge on the
Using it on the
top,
top,
Babbling
random
Brook,
order.
and something else on the bottom.
Random order.
Yep.
Randomize, and then I'll randomize the top.
Ah.
Don't do it again.
Well, I mean, we know what they are at this point, right? So
All right, so these are randomized.
those were the top or the bottom?
Oh God. These were the top. I'll shuffle
Okay.
one more
So I have no
Those
idea
are
what
the
these are anymore. So we're gonna put them at the bottom before we screw that up again.
These are on the top.
All right. Perfect.
Shoutouts again
Thank
to
you, thank
the
you.
judges at SorceryCon
That
for
was all during your turn, I believe. You
having
took the
resolutions and
resolution.
compromises for things when
Yes,
things
I am
happen.
not-
And
I just untapped.
Yep.
No Maelstrom,
Yep.
and I'm about to draw a card,
Okay.
and I wasn't sure if I wanted to get
things
a site
way out of left field can
Nope.
happen at all
I think
times,
I'm
and
gonna go for a
judges
spell,
have
though,
to
and if I do
decide what is a
that, I
fair
pull that there,
compromise. And
Get that there.
they were definitely busy that entire weekend,
Although
so
that is
big
pretty
shout out to
scary.
them.
I may even just keep that there. And if you tap, you can either go here or here. You probably come over here. Okay, I'm gonna get a spell. That's not terrible.
Top decking a Ring of Morgan.
Okay. I think
Well,
either way, I will tap.
won't be enough to kill cats, but it is still a ring. We're at 20 life, so we don't necessarily need to cast it right now to give him a target to destroy it. We get a Mirror Realm off of the Atlas.
I'm gonna pay 1 to equip.
Never
a
mind.
Morgan to my
Equipping.
Necromancer. Do you mind if I keep it here?
Ring of Morgan is
this is
on
being
the
killed by my
avatar. 4 mana left.
I'm then gonna pay 3 to cast a Koi Nixie, and I hope you may or may not know the reference, but it's an altered art of a Koi Nixie. It's old Greg.
I don't know it.
It's a YouTube video from Britain. It's really funny, but yeah.
Some of the players did, and some of the players did not know what the heck
And,
old Greg was.
Oh, I forgot to untap my cat.
Yep.
What I will do.
could we have done
is
alternatively?
use my
Meat
Koi Nixie
hook?
coin
Probably
tap
not.
Here. And it taps it.
Koi Nixie tapping down his cat, pulling it forward.
And then I'm
Is that
going
helping
to-
him? Guess it wouldn't have mattered.
I'm actually going to move and attack back onto your Babbling Brook for 4. So I've got you at 12.
Agreed.
Okay.
All right, so rather than trading cats, I just opt to
That leaves
separate
and when
his
I
from
cast the
mine.
Koi Nixie, sorry, I'll ping. I don't think it's going to matter, so I'll ping a cat. I don't gain anything. Yeah, I couldn't swing with the skeletons to kill it anyways, unfortunately. But I will pay my final to make a new skeleton here. And then I believe that's all the actions I can possibly take, so I'm going to pass my turn, and I'll help you untap if there's anything to untap. Just that. This is 2 skeletons, 1 skeleton, flooded, and a cat here. Okay.
Cat. Troll Bridge. All right.
Nice.
All right, Troll Bridge from one of the cards that just got put back. Looks like you got one of the good ones.
The site or the Koi Nixie?
The Nixie.
Yeah. Can't move to block that, guys, so that dies, unfortunately.
Nixie unfortunately gets taken down. So yeah, maybe doing the
Attack.
pulling in the Lugbug Cat with the Nixie the turn before
16.
may not have been the play, but we were able to get our cat over there in the top left.
7 mana. Crazy.
And I do have another Nixie, so maybe I just felt like it was okay, but we don't really have an answer for the cats at the moment. Except for maybe pinging them for 1 and pulling them into a bridge. I don't even remember what site is below my his Lugbug Cat here that just attacked onto my Nixie. A showing of the hand to the audience here.
River Rapids.
Oh, it's a River Rapids, right? Okay, so
Play Acid Rain right there.
Oh, I haven't seen this in a while, so it silences.
Acid
the
Rain.
sites.
And the artifacts.
Cool. Doesn't destroy them, but this is no longer working. Okay.
Not right this second. Yep.
If I can get rid of that somehow. Okay.
Yep.
I haven't
the Ring of
seen
Morgan
these.
gets turned off, so do
Flooded
my
is-
sites.
It's just that Garden of Eden is no longer doing its thing.
It loses flooded, I think, because the flooded is the text on there. That's a good question. Do you want to ask a judge on that? Kyle,
Judge,
can we bug you for a sec? I don't.
Just checking to see if that
Silences
silenced
a flooded
mismanaged
site
mortuary is
with
still
the flood
flooded.
from it? Yes. Okay. All right. I lose a water thrash.
And we're no longer switched cemeteries either, as far as
I would have not thought that's how that worked.
Silence. That's
Right,
true. So you
right.
have your own cemetery.
Yep.
Do you mind if I just browse your cemetery really quick?
You may.
I was about to give you way too much explanation. The answer is yes.
3 minions. Got it.
Yeah. Not a big RT
Not yet.
cemetery. Yes.
Yeah. Just keeping an eye on that.
All right. I
Wow, that's
Get my
brutal.
notepad ready in case we need to prepare for an Archimago.
I'm gonna play a sister. Oh no, I can't. I don't have any earth.
Revealed a Sister
All right,
Stefano.
I guess I'm just chilling. Go ahead.
Okay.
Should I? Should. Let me think
Take your
about
time.
one more
I need
thing.
to rethink my plan too, because that changed all my math here.
Or
know,
Sister
I think I'm gonna
Stefania,
spend
rather.
3 to change
Comes in
classes.
warded and other nearby minions are
Alright.
silenced.
So.
So it can kind of just shut down a whole region of the
Sounds good.
realm.
Turn.
All right. So passing turn. No more Maelstrom to think about.
What do you have in hand? Just spells?
I have 2 spells and 1 sight.
I am gonna switch masks.
What are we doing? Sorcerer?
Yeah, Pathfinder.
No more Garden of Eden.
He's switching to Sorcerer. Yeah, not a lot of sense in staying
That's
in
interesting. I didn't consider that.
Pathfinder because I'm very likely to just play a site in that corner there
So I'm
anyway.
gonna put it sideways underneath my cemetery.
That sounds good. Yeah. All right. Since I have a sight, I think either way I'm going to get a spell. So let's go and untap, draw the spell. I'm gonna push one of this cat over here from the river. I'll move a skeleton onto it. Move a skeleton here. Silence affected sites.
Not exactly sure what my plan is here, just to get some skeletons spread out for future blocks.
Judge,
We have another judge call.
we have a acid rain silenced Garden of Eden.
Yes.
If I cast that, is it also silenced?
Depends where you cast it. You're good.
All right, I'm gonna tap. Thank you. And I'm gonna play a Mirror Realm.
So my question was, is copying a silenced site also silenced? And he's like, no, it's not.
That's there.
Which makes sense. I just wanted to double check. It's an event. I wanted to be sure. So
Yeah, I was wondering like.
he silenced my Garden of
silence,
Eden.
copying it. Like,
It's worth
no,
checking.
I decide to get another one now that he is sorcerer.
I'm gonna keep going here.
So basically shutting off the fact that he turned into sorcerer. He's not going to get any benefit
I'm at
out of
8.
it in theory.
I'm at 16.
Hit him for 4. He goes to 8. He does have the 2 cats, so I'm also very likely to go to 8 next turn.
I will pay 3. Can't use the ring, unfortunately. Koi Nixie here. Considering playing it submerged.
Queenixie.
I'm gonna leave it on top. I'll then pay my final 3 to cast an Aino here. I will.
Okay, so
move
getting the
to
Aino
my end
started.
step, and Aino will take a step, gaining stealth here.
Yep.
I'll find that token, but please feel free to take your turn.
Okey-doke.
Search for that.
Suppose I'm feeling fairly safe that the cats are not going to get my Queenixie. I'd like to be able to move the Queenixie and use her effect. So that's why I did not cast her submerged, I think was my thinking. You may have already realized or gotten the impression that not every play I do always makes sense. I'm just going with my gut. It may not be the best play, but it's because I don't know what the best play is. Feel free to leave a comment down below if there's ever something you see where like you should have done this or why did you do that? Because my goal ultimately is to learn. Main goal is to have fun though. So I try not to sweat it too much. I'm obviously
right here.
Very nice.
doing my best here. Mother Maiden comes in. He gains 3 life.
I'm just gonna use yours. We'll put that aside.
Yeah, that's all right. If you're okay with that.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'll kind of move it up toward the camera.
And Mother Maiden has the option to draw additional spells if you pay 3 mana at any time. So
7.
would be good, except for the fact that we got a Garden of Eden out. So that feels pretty good for me. Prevents him from drawing additional spells.
Okay.
Aquamarine Core comes down.
That gives you 1 more, so you have 2 mana effectively, right?
So he is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana, I believe. So now everything's
Would you
1
like me to put it up with
cheaper.
the
You don't have to. I mean, I
Paid
have my
5
ring
for
here.
the.
Yeah.
For tournament reasons, if you guys don't mind, putting them on the units holding them.
Sure.
Works for us.
Judge asking us politely to move
look
their
at my collection for a
artifacts
second.
that are
That's
equipped onto the avatars. I'm not sure if that's a rule or a preference.
if I just place
Sounds
them
like
on
it's a
top?
judge preference.
Thank you.
The board state just gets a little messy, and I tend to lose track of them, so I ask if I can put that on top.
Well, I will tap this for a site.
Okay.
Wasn't the original plan, but we have a Garden of Eden. All right.
Tapping for a site rather than an extra spell. I think if he didn't flip into Sorcerer, I would have probably Mirror Realmed his Troll Bridge instead, which probably would have been a mistake because he has Lugbog Cat that can safely move an attack into it. So I am glad here that we got the Garden of Eden.
Let's block with the skeleton.
He's tapped.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. Cannot block with him. Could possibly block with Koinixie, but I don't think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to take 4 damage. I'm at 12.
Yep, have to take it.
I'm at 8. Minions occupying affected sites lose
Silence.
all non-basic abilities. Silence. Okay, but skeletons can move to block now, though.
this skeleton can now move to block. Or any skeleton standing in these 4 squares can move to block, yes.
Is this considered a basic ability then? Ah, okay, okay. But Koi Nixie doesn't work.
Koi
Right.
Nixie doesn't work.
Okay.
Right.
And if I was to move Aino, well, okay, she's
Yeah,
outside of
yeah,
that.
this
but
takes away the exception. So if they're in these squares, they can
Yeah,
act
so
like
the Aura of Silence
So that
for
was my
3
question.
mana
Right.
essentially just
Right.
silences everything that's underneath it. It's just worded as
exactly.
minions occupying affected sites lose all non-basic abilities. So we're just confirming that the skeleton tokens can now move to block because that's their downside, but they've been silenced.
Yep.
So the one skeleton that is on the River Rapids can now move to block.
Giving you an exception.
So Carter had offered a time extension because he had to pull me away to do a photo op. So if you're aware, okay.
That's what I'm giving you. That's what I'm letting you know because we just hit time.
So we're already got it. Thank you.
Now,
We have 5 more minutes from
yeah,
here.
now you have 5 more minutes.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks for letting us know.
And I'm just gonna
All right, 5-minute timer before we go to turns. Oh
All
boy.
right, thank you for that. Let's see. So I cast that. I spent. No. I cheated. Did I? Yeah, I spent 1 mana too many.
How much was that?
This is 3.
I think
I
you only had
spent
maybe one left because you had
1, 2,
5,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm 1 short.
8. So you
Well,
have
yeah, but I just cast that this turn.
That's
right?
true.
Yeah,
So-
so I can't afford this.
paid 5, paid 1 to gain that, and then you had 2 left. I thought you paid 1. Yeah.
I can't afford that.
Well,
Glad I spotted that then. And with that, then it's your turn.
okay. 5 minutes.
Passing the turn.
Eden Mother Crone is no joke, but we have a Garden of Eden, so that helps. I can gain life with the ring if I can get away from that. So I'm going to have 6 mana, so I believe I'm going to draw a spell.
Drawing a Plague of Frogs off the top just adds more options to this very interesting arrangement of minions all over the board. May come in useful if I need to just have blockers at all locations to prevent him from getting me to door. Looks like we are about 3.5 minutes away from going to turns. But with all the different interaction of Koi Nixies and things all over the board and different sided interactions, it can be challenging to decide what best you're supposed to do.
Okay.
Ring of
I'm
Morgan
going
is currently turned off.
to move my avatar out of the range of the acid rain.
Yep.
So we're deciding to move it
Technically,
one side over so that the ring turns back on.
so I'm going to pay 4 to cast a meat hook onto my Lugbog cat. I will ping your avatar for 1 and gain 1.
Yep, I take a damage, you gain a life.
I will then pay 1 to make a skeleton. I will then use my Koi Nixie to pull the Lugbog cat here, and then I'll use the River Rapids to push it here.
Okay,
Actually, I'll push it here if that's okay.
it's fine.
So utilizing River Rapids and Koi Nixie water effects to push things around the board feels
I
pretty
will
cool.
Then
It's my personal favorite threshold. I find it so fun, just pulling and pushing, and
I'm gonna pay my final 1.
Drowning.
Plague of Frogs.
it's my favorite.
I'll ping your avatar.
And no more cards in hand. Plague of Frogs comes down. Ping it again. So I was able to gain 2 life and deal 2 damage in casting both of those spells. Got to utilize all my mana. Feels like a pretty efficient turn. Lugbog Cat just has a meat hook on it. So I suppose I could use it now to pull in his Lugbog Cat that I pushed and trade.
I'm gonna summon them. Sorry, not tapped, but submerged.
You can summon them to the other people's side.
It always takes a minute to get all the frogs out.
You would like, however, it enters. What's the troll bridge? It's when it enters.
Yeah,
I'll have to be careful about that.
you could bring 2 in together though.
Yes.
Oh, to trigger 1 and then. I'll
Oh,
move
they make a
turn
good
over.
point here. The way that Troll Bridge reads is that whenever a lone enemy enters,
Yep.
it takes 3, but if you just put 2 in together summon, then it would negate that effect.
How about I'll put 2 on top here then, so they can.
That works.
That is kind of neat. I'll put a submerged there. My avatar is, that's not water. I'll make sure I didn't do any more like that. I believe the rest are good. I'll just put one on top here.
Just making sure I don't accidentally submerge anything underneath a non-water site. So sorry, TG, for taking this long on my turn. I have about 6 brain cells, and they're all firing on all cylinders on this turn here, but
So it's all my
looks like we're
mana.
getting
I
ready
think
to go to
I've hit
turns.
as much as I can with the ring. So I will then move and attack here.
We're at turns.
Okay, move and attack here for 3.
Get him down to
Stealth.
6.
Yep.
I will move and attack with the Lugbot.
And I believe
attack,
Ino is a May abilities.
for 4 here on the Troll Bridge.
I'll block it.
Ah, that's true. Okay, sure. Too late. The blockers have been declared.
So
I
you
missed
lose
that.
3 life.
Yes.
And I definitely missed the Maiden Mother Crone.
I believe those are all of the possible actions I can take this turn. So I'm going to move to my end step. This will move to turn 1 for you. My Ino will move back here, gaining stealth.
Yes.
Do you mind if I move a skeleton before the end of my turn?
It's fine.
Okay.
And I move a skeleton. So I think my thought here is just to have enough blockers to block any potential attacks he has with the Lugbog cat. Because if one of those cats gets in, I basically go to door.
Moving those skeletons,
fine.
end of turn, I know gain stealth here. That was turn 0, we're now at turn 1. I only get 1 more turn.
Okay.
You have 2 turns.
TG being really cool, just allowing me to
Not that much.
take any final steps that I possibly can. And like you said, as long as there's no new info, he wasn't concerned about it, but
Interesting. The reason I was Pied Piper would be so
I was
amazing
gonna.
right now.
I didn't want to ask
No,
until the end, but
that-
which one were you hoping for?
That would be hilarious. Like
That would be crazy.
yeah. No, it happened to me last game, and I still won the game, but it was quite funny.
I
Anyway,
didn't even consider the Pied Piper.
it would have been hilarious.
Oh.
Maybe next turn. All right. Let's see. Where's this gonna go? Play that there.
Okay.
so again, just quite a cluster in the middle here. This one definitely, I think, hurt my brain the most out of the entire weekend of just trying to like, okay, make sure if he attacks, I have a blocker here. If he attacks there, I have a blocker there. If he's running water, so if he pushes his Lugbog cat somewhere and attacks, do I have a way to block it? And as far as I can see here, I'm looking like I'm pretty good. We are at turn, so I think at this point we're just either trying to get someone to door or draw. Ideally, someone actually gets to door, so someone wins. It's the final round. Although I think at this point in the event, we were informed that no matter what, neither of us would have made it to top 8. So we just knew we were playing for that pack sitting on the left there. Winners get the pack. Actually, out of one of my packs from this weekend, I was really surprised. I got 2 uniques, and I'm trying to remember what they both were, but one of them was a non-foil, and then in the same pack was a foil
I've left to make myself into an iron.
Bone Hellkite,
Yeah, and he takes 2 less.
which I think has like a TCG value of like $100, so
My
that was awesome.
banished pile.
So ring would not hurt him,
Correct.
Would not gain life.
and I would not gain life. Really? Oh, it has to deal the damage. Okay. So all I can do is heal at that point. Okay. Darn.
You kill your own skeletons. Or frogs.
Yeah. Or just hit his cats.
You have options for sure.
Just can't hit you directly anymore. That's a good flip. I like that.
What on earth?
So again, just a very complicated board state. Neither of us really unsure what the right path is, but I'm just trying to safely make sure I am covered for any shenanigans that he may have. He's running mud, so I don't anticipate any sort of
everybody else is above. Is that the deal?
whirling
This one's
blades or
under
anything like
here.
that.
I believe it's just.
Nor do
1,
I
2.
expect any sort of earthquake action.
Is there a frog that died? Should be 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry. Yeah.
Good.
So only these 2 are submerged. Correct. Wait. Right?
Yeah, and he's just confirming which ones are submerged. 2 different frogs.
These 2.
All right. I'm gonna play Sister Stefania right here.
Sister Stefania.
Silenced. Not disabled. Silenced.
Right. So submerge.
Kills those.
Oh no, they're not nearby. They're not nearby. This is not.
That's true.
It works with the enchantment. It doesn't work.
So
with,
interestingly, Sister Stefania, it disables,
Yep, minion.
The skeletons.
or sorry, silences all nearby minions,
5, 6, 7, 8.
which allows my skeletons
So
to
I
actually
spent
be able
3
to
on
move
my
to defend.
range. I spent 2 on her. That's 5. I have 4 left.
Okay.
She's a really interesting card.
It's a pro and a con to this. All right. I will.
More silence in the form of the card called Silence, an aura, so it affects all 4.
Yes.
So in that case, the frogs that are submerged do die
I know.
because they're not nearby; they're affected. And I lose stealth on my Aino. Being silenced, Aino is no longer a cool
Dang, dang, dang.
minion, just a 3/3. Unless I can deal with that aura.
All right.
My Ring of Morgan is disabled, or silenced rather, right?
I will attack this site.
I will block with the frog.
Yep.
Blocking with a frog.
And I'll attack with the site again. Or attack the site again, I should
That's
say.
all right. I'll block with this frog.
Okay. It is your turn.
Okay. Turn 2. You have 6 life.
Do you have a hand?
No hand. I'm just gonna start untapping very carefully. This is turn 2.
And was just double checking that silence actually does not silence my Ring of Morgan. Acid Rain does. So silence only affects minions. So he was able to kill my 2 frogs, but that was essentially it.
Drawing a spell.
Only 1 card in hand. We don't have a good angle of what that card was, though, unfortunately. Moving forward, again, I'm going to try to make sure I always show the camera my hand.
I'll just give you some knuckles. This is a really fun one.
Just giving out some knuckles just to, hey, no matter winner or loser, this is fun.
Lose, win.
I am
doesn't matter.
focused here, but as soon as we're done, it's like, dude, I'm having a great time.
Yeah, you stay in it.
Dude, yeah, this is why sorcery is so good.
If I do,
Both of us are just having fun.
have to go there.
Winning and losing is just kind of an afterthought. I mean, we're obviously trying here, but as soon as the game is over, we're going to shake hands and talk about each other's positions and plays and decks, and it's just a great time. Again, if you're on the fence on wanting to go to an event, I would highly recommend that you consider going to SorceryCon in 2027. However they end up doing it, I'm sure it's going to be a blast. I'm going to do everything in my power to be there. I hope they'll have me.
We're gonna be okay. All right, I'm gonna try to make some moves here. So I'm going to move and attack here for 4. I am going to move and attack this site for 1.
Take the
One.
damage.
Takes the damage.
I'll do the same here. To door.
No, let me think about that one for a
Think
second.
about it. Yeah.
Block with Sister Stefania.
Okay. So
ward
tap,
breaks.
lose ward. I will then move and attack the troll bridge and discard a card to do so.
Yep, now I'm
To
at
the
door.
So it was a Lugbog
My own
cat.
cat, which is
We
sad.
opt to discard it in order to get
Hey, getting somebody to the door is the goal.
I'll pay 1 to make a skeleton.
So we did it.
I did not.
Now we just need to defend
heal.
his Lugbug Cat swings and Sister
Don't worry,
Stephania.
I can block your swings, and
Considering my skeletons are all
I think
silenced,
I'll keep it up to block.
I think we
Attack here, you have 3
will be
attack,
able
I've
to.
got some blockers. Moving frogs won't help because they'll be tapped, so I think we're just gonna pass the turn and prep. Yeah.
Okay. Untap.
Turn 3.
Untap.
Oh, good game, man. That's
a great game.
No matter the outcome.
So this is the final
I enjoyed
turn.
it too.
no cards in hand.
All I needed to do was set up as many blockers as possible, get him to door, set up as many blockers as possible, and then hope he
Spell?
can't get me there. Frog can block Sister Stephania swing. Well, actually, no, sorry. It'd be skeletons that block. So he basically has 3 potential attackers on the site, the River Rapids, where his 2 Lugbug Cats are. He attacks, I block with the skeleton. He attacks, I block with the Koi Nixie. He attacks. So luckily, we've kind of been able to funnel all of his potential damage into those positions. Of course, his cats can also go to where the Koi Nixie is on the Maelstrom, but I have even more blockers in that lane as well. So not knowing what he has in his hand, I'm very, very nervous, but otherwise, I feel like I have pretty good coverage. He's checking out his collection. I believe he has 3 spells in hand. So again, it's like, what could he have here? Maybe an Atlantean Fate comes down or something, and he can get in for the damage that way. That would work.
I'm going to spend, so it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll spend 3 to make myself into an enchantress.
All right, so flipping over into Enchantress mode. Just terrifying.
I'm just gonna read it.
Yep.
Whenever you cast a spell, you may animate a target aura until your next turn. It's an aura minion with power equal to its cost. We have 3 auras.
So we've got Silence. I have my Atlantean Fate
Okay.
and an Acid Rain.
I do have a question. If it turns into an aura, since it's kind of in this weird spot, does it attack?
No, it immediately dies.
This is partially in the void.
It's a big creature in the
Okay,
void.
sorry. So maybe this one.
That
and
one
say
could.
it swings. Are you choosing one site to attack?
Yes.
And then so I can only block that site that's being attacked? Or can I block from like, oh, I have a skeleton here and you're attacking here, I can block it because it's touching.
Well, because
The site is being attacked.
Okay.
but because of my silence effect, you can move the skeleton to block.
Correct.
Right.
Just want to make sure I have to move to the site being attacked.
Yep.
Or block it from over here like a giant. Right. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. Okay. So that was 3 of my 9. I have 6 left.
So with 6 mana left, essentially the way Enchantress reads is whenever you cast a spell, you may animate. So he just cast 1.
There. I'll use that to animate the silence.
Animating the Silence. And he can't do the Acid Rain
Silence
because it's
will
technically
attack
touching
Ino.
Void, which would kill it.
Okay. Let's see.
So now it's not 3 attackers, it's 4.
I hope this is not a mistake. Trade.
Okay.
So deciding to block with the Aino.
Attack.
Sister Stephania moves and attacks.
Frog block.
Block with a frog.
Attack.
Move and attack.
Nope. Those can't move anymore.
Oh no!
I watched that happen.
Darn it. Well played. Yeah, I should have blocked with something so that the silence didn't die. I knew I messed something up. That's cool. Block.
Attack the site.
I don't believe I have any way I can block that. There's no frogs I'm forgetting about. I have to take it. I'm at 3 life.
You win.
Oh,
And there comes the handshake. TG, a wonderful player to play against. I was so nervous.
Make you work a little
Another
harder,
handshake.
but I was pretty sure you had it.
I think he just wanted. He knew it couldn't really get me to door, but was just trying to see if there. You know, again with this
sorry.
No, we're good. We're good.
very very complex board state. It's hard to navigate. We both were running water. So just playing around that with the Koi Nixies and the threats of being able to pull things in. I had the Maelstrom out, although it did get affected by the Acid Rain. Just all these different things to keep in mind and to watch for, and that if you do miss anything, especially in a tournament, you know, take a breath, take your time, try to focus, and really try to play the best lines that you can and try not to miss anything. But also know that there is a clock and you have to keep going. So it's kind of a difficult balance that I'm still figuring out. But either way, TG, thank you for the game. I hope you get a chance to watch this one. But if not, I do hope to get to interface with you in the future. I see you online in the Facebook groups and things like that. So just awesome to get to meet. I got to network with just so many other sorcery players at this event. And that was one of the bigger highlights for me, not only as a content creator, but just as a player. Getting to, put a face to the name of people that I've interfaced with online. And it's sorcery. We're all having fun. Every match is great. So yeah, that was round 8, the final round of Constructed from SorceryCon 3. And I had a ton of fun. Overall, I ended up going 6-2. Granted, one of those wins, my opponent just conceded. So, call that what you want. But either way, I was still proud of the record that I got. Didn't quite get to top 8. I ended up tying for 21st place. I do have my deck list linked in the description below in case you're curious what I ran for this event. And I'd be curious to hear your guys' thoughts. It's been a few weeks since this event. The meta has changed. And it's interesting to see a lot of people online are not playing the Water Necromancer either out of spite or they're trying to just, see if other avatars can kind of rise to the top. So it's really interesting to see. It's very much still growing, it seems, and I'm having a great time. At the very least, getting in my 1 or 2 matches a week with Constructed, and I feel like I learned something in every game. It's one of the really beautiful things about Sorcery is I think I walk away from every match that I play having learned something, whether that's a new interaction or some sort of a line. For example, summoning 2 frogs to the Troll Bridge, I did not realize was a thing. I haven't played against Enchantress enough, so I was learning how the animating of the auras works. And again, just walking away from every match with a little bit more knowledge. Over time, you slowly become a very knowledgeable sorcerer. Of course, until Eric's Curiosa updates the codex, and then everything changes. So, yes, it's an ever-evolving game. The rules are changing all the time. But again, golden rule, just try to keep a cool head and roll with the punches and try to continue to learn as you go. And I think you'll have a great time. So glad that I was able to get in 8 full rounds of Constructed Sorcery on top of all of the filming. So again, shout outs to all of the SorceryCon event organizers, not only for having me there to film, but allowing me to play. That was a big concern of theirs was, we know you're here to work and, we don't want you to make, your hobby your job, so to speak, so much so that you can't actually enjoy yourself while you're at the event. So I informed them like, no, I'm having a great time filming either way, but if I can squeeze in the Constructed, I would love to do that. And it ended up working out, and I think we did pretty good. If you guys enjoyed this series, this was 8 videos of my Constructed rounds coming out slowly over time. Please let me know. Also, please let me know if me releasing them like this is no bueno. Like I'm doing the best I can to release them when I can, but each video needs about an hour of recording, and then there's some edits to be made there, and then the uploading. It's a balancing act. I try to get a couple of them out a week when I can, but life's busy, and I'm doing other edits from SorceryCon on top of these. So maybe for the next event, I'll bring a laptop and try to edit these right after I finish them that day, so I can try to get them out within a couple of weeks having returned from the event. That's like the ideal setup. But here we are. It's round 8, and it's been a few weeks since the event has ended. A few months, actually. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed this series, please let me know. Please also leave any constructive criticism again on how I release these. Either way, let me know. I'd love to hear any feedback, positive or constructive, and I appreciate you checking out the video either way. Thank you all so much for watching. I have so many upcoming SorceryCon 3 content videos that are still yet to come out, so I hope you look forward to them. I am in the middle of moving in my real life, so I do apologize if it does take another week or 2 past the uploading of this video for me to get one out. But either way, I hope you look forward to it, and I hope that you enjoy watching new content coming soon. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.